All right, guys. In this interview, I interview the tournament director of Tap Out Cancer Organization, Adam Sawyer. Tap Out Cancer Organization is a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu tournament that its sole purpose is to support the fight against cancer. I really hope you guys support this podcast, at least this episode, and check out their latest tournament that's going to be taking place November 9th in Philadelphia. All right, guys, now time for the podcast interview. Guys, if you're watching us on YouTube, make sure you hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel and hit the alert button so you get updates. And also, you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. This podcast episode is brought to you by Defense Soap. Defend what you have built. Save 15% with the code Marc the Shark MMA Show, used by all Jiu-Jitsu and MMA athletes to prevent skin infections. This podcast is also brought to you by Audible. Go to www.audibletrial.com/MMA Show, and you get a free audiobook when you sign up for a 30-day trial. This podcast episode is also brought to you by Ritordo Family Books. If you're interested in great books for your children to read, get books by Christina Ritordo. And if you're interested in action, thriller, suspense books, you can get The Cabal, The Saga Begins, or fantasy books like Marcus the Vampire, both written by your host, Marc the Shark Ritordo. Again, go to www.ritordofamilybooks.com. Also, do not forget to go to the Marc the Shark MMA Show podcast website, the shop for our merchandise. We got t-shirts, hoodies, tank tops, hats, and even mugs. Anything you can want with the Marc the Shark MMA Show podcast name on it. And also, please do not forget to go to our website where you can make a donation to support the podcast. All you have to do is click on the donation button. All right, guys, we're back on the show, and today I got a special guest, Adam Sawyer from Tap Out Cancer. If you guys aren't too aware, it's a popular Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu tournament, and the funds that they get from the tournament go to fight cancer. How you doing today, Adam? How you doing?
Good, rocking and rolling for a reason. You know what I'm saying? We're about halfway through our tour. We're in Cincinnati right now, and we're looking for the finish line. We got 3 more dates. We end in Philadelphia, November 9th, and we got November 23rd in Massachusetts, and that'll be it for us for 2019.
Wow. Now, how did you get started? I'm assuming you practice Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, right?
Yeah, a little bit. I'm in my just a little bit. I'm in my 22nd year.
Okay, wow.
I got my black belt this past February. Trained across the country in a variety of academies over the course of my military career. So I'm from New Hampshire originally, and I travel all across the country with TCO. And at the time, they had the Massachusetts Open 2015. 2016, they were looking for referees. I raised my hand. 2017, started volunteering, started continuing volunteering and also being a referee. In early 2018, John Thomas, who's the CEO, gave me a call and he goes, "Are you sitting down?" Yeah. And he pitched it to me. 8 cities, 8 weeks, do a tour, raise money, find a beneficiary that, needs the help. And I was like, I'm in. And, 2 years later, here we are on our second tour. We've run 12 tournaments this year. We'll have 14 total at the end of the year. And, it's just we're continually raising the bar everywhere we go.
Wow. Now, how long has the tournament been around for? Because I've known about it for a while, but
John started 2012, so we're looking at about 7 years. and we're talking old school, flip style scores, and
Yeah. I
you
remember
know,
those.
the budgetary tournaments,
Yeah,
and
I've done a few grapplers quests where they just flip the scorecards over. Yeah, I remember those days.
and now, I mean, everybody's moving to the smooth comp system,
Yeah.
which you can see all of your results almost immediately online, how you did, and that seems to be what especially parents look for the most. Like, hey, grandma and grandpa, you've donated $50 to grandchild. This is how they did. Here's the link. So technology's really taken off and given grappling practitioners as a whole a much easier way to show exactly how they're doing. So that's always been great.
Now, do you use that system? They have like some tournaments where it's like a mobile app. You can see what ring you go to.
That is smooth comp.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Do we do that at Tap Cancer Out? No, we do not.
Okay.
We do not make the brackets public, and that's only because we shut down everything tonight at midnight, which is Wednesday or Tuesday. Say Tuesday or Wednesday.
Okay.
What is it? Tuesday or Wednesday?
Yeah, it's Tuesday.
When you're on the road this long, you just lose track of what day it
Wow.
is. So tomorrow at midnight, we will shut everything down, send everything to smooth comp. Now, if somebody comes in, say a child, and mom or dad perhaps weighed them in incorrectly, that changes the brackets right then and there. So it's really pointless and to post those brackets literally when they can change in the blink of an eye because somebody weighed in incorrectly.
Okay. Now, do
So
you follow IBGF rules in terms of you weigh in like 10 to 15 minutes before you hit the mat, or?
nope. Absolutely not. One, you don't have to weigh in with the gi.
Okay.
Two, we don't care necessarily what you wear for a gi, what color you wear for a gi, provided that the kids are allowed to wear rash guards and spats. Females can wear rash guards. Males across the board, the only thing they're allowed is a gi and a mouth guard. Nothing else is allowed. So you don't have to like sit there and raise your arm and get the 2-inch
Yes.
gap and oh, your belt's not locked. No. We are very relaxed when it comes to that type of rule set. When it comes to the referees, Sergio Pimentel out of Bel Air, Maryland, is our head referee, and University of
Yeah, I don't know what happened. Sorry about that, guys. I think I don't know. I think like I heard my lights flicker over here. Can you hear me?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay. All right. So sorry about that, guys. We're back online. So yeah, you were talking about your referee, Sergio from Maryland. Sorry about that. I still have the other first part, but yeah, you still there? Hello?
Good to go if you are, Mark.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay.
Yeah. So you were talking about your referee over in Maryland.
Yeah, Sergio Pimentel is he runs an academy up in Bel Air, Maryland. He's our head referee, and he's state of the art as far as who he brings in for referees, and that's why we follow the standard IBJJF rule format. So that way, nobody has to come in as a referee and adhere to specific rules that are different from what they've already been educated in. So.
Okay. And then what types of, is it going towards one particular type of cancer, or what's the organization funding for?
A couple 2 years ago, John decided to every couple of years he's been changing the beneficiary, pancreatic, and if you look online you can see from 2012 up that it changes every couple of years. Right now our beneficiary is Alex's Lemonade Stand Foundation, which is a childhood cancer action prevention network. I love to call it a network because it provides funds for family members who can't afford the transportation to go see their child, who can't afford, the hotels or the food or the travel or the budgetary needs for it to go see their children. And that is a large portion of what Alex's Lemonade Stand it does.
Okay, yeah, I heard of that, but I didn't know it was for. I didn't know what they did. I mean, I've seen the lemonades being sold in stores like that, so that's pretty good.
Definitely. Last year, we were able to run one of those nice large checks, those for $465,000 just off of the fundraising that we did in 7 cities in 8 weeks. Now, right now, and I have to throw my glasses on because when you're over 40, you gotta. Raleigh was our first stop. We hit 33,000. Orlando 45. Then we went over to Austin. Austin snapped last year's record by 13,000. They raised just under 75,000. Then I decided to take the 31-hour drive up to Chicago, which I also drive, by the way. I don't also just direct the tournaments. I do all the driving.
Wow.
All the volunteer wrangling and making sure everything gets set up. But it's for a purpose. Anyway, we'll get back to that in a second. Chicago crushed last year's goal. We raised their goal on them last year from 60 to 75. This year they raised 131,000. And that's
Wow.
not even counting the 16,000 that they raised for our sub-only showcase, which is like a one-on-one format on the on the high rise, with the music and the walk-ins and everything. That was a new special event that's only our second time doing, but we're growing and growing and growing. So it's good
Oh, that's
stuff.
great. That's great. Yeah, because you know what it is. What I find that's good is because I don't know about you, but everybody other than my 3 grandparents, everybody I know that's passed away has been from like cancer, one shape or form or another.
There's nobody, I won't say nobody, but there's a very finite amount of people who cancer has not affected in one way, shape, or form. And I'll give you, for instance, Mark, I've had family left and right passing cancer from everything: parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles. A niece, she actually beat it at 1 years old.
Wow.
So it's super close to my heart, John, and his family story with why he started Tap Cancer Out. Very important. The concept is we came up with a hashtag rolling for a reason. You're not going in there to puff your chest out and be I won the gold today. And I had 2 kids, for instance, in a city we were just in. They didn't want to go against each other because they were from the same school. So I talked with them. I pulled them in. I pulled the parents in. I said, let me tell you something, what's going on right now. There's a child who's in a hospital bed by themselves. They're burning from the inside out because of chemo. They're alone. They wish their mom and dad were there. And right now they aren't because somewhere, somehow, they can't afford it. What you are doing today, why you are actually competing today, is so those families can be together during the hardest parts of their lives. Hence, where we go with you're fighting for those who are in the fight of their lives. Those two, that boy and that girl, all of a sudden you could just see their eyes light up like, wow, we're doing this for a purpose, for a reason. The parents were like, I get a little water-eyed every time I do it, but the sentiment is there, the purpose is there, the reason is there, and the people will always be there because cancer is rampant across the world. So we're trying to do our best to fight for those who are in the fight for their lives.
Yeah. Now, how many tournaments do you have throughout the year? Like 10, 13?
We started last year. We started this year in San Diego, which the core team flies out, and we actually have a vendor who provides us with our equipment. We bring our own laptops. We did a micro tournament in Richmond and Maryland. Maryland.
Richmond, Virginia?
Baltimore. Yes,
Oh,
Richmond
Baltimore.
and Baltimore earlier this summer. And then we started our 8-city tour in middle of September. We started in Raleigh and technically we'll finish in Philadelphia. But our last tournament of the year is Massachusetts. Now, Massachusetts and Connecticut being, our headquartered city,
Yeah, that's where I
have
figured you guys were
have
from. Yeah.
always battled for like the supremacy of like who's gonna raise more. And right now, Connecticut, East Haven, $270,000 they raised in one tournament, and
Wow.
just mind-boggling. So Mass and Philly are like doing this with each other. 88, 90,000, 91,000. Oh, well, we can beat that. We're gonna go 92,000. So
Now, are all those funds from the competitors, or does that include other stuff that goes on at those particular events?
you have general fundraising, which somebody can
Okay.
just say, I'd like to donate to the cause. You have fundraisers who are competitors, which they can, if they raise a certain amount of money, they receive perks as, the purpose. $250 will get them free registration.
Okay.
$400 they get, a custom t-shirt that's 2019 only that only fundraisers can earn. Rash guards, hoodies, gis. The more they raise, the more we send them. Bags, and just people love the backpacks. That's our number one. Our merchandise thing. All the merchandise is included in that. And registration fees. If people just want to just pay for the registration and not want to fundraise, that's an option as well. And we also have our volunteer crew, which without volunteers in the cities that we're at, we could not have our tournaments. So we offer a volunteer competitor ticket. They can compete. We waive their registration and they volunteer for the day. Keep score, merchandise table, front desk, ring coordinator, runner, medals, anything and everything to keep, the tournament functioning is 90% volunteers.
That's great. Now, do you have something like, I kind of remember when I was a kid, I don't remember what it was. I think it was like a walkathon or something. Do you have anything like that? Like, let's say I know someone's going to compete at an event, and then I can give them money, and then they can collect money. But is
So
that similar to what you were talking about, or
two
fundraising?
parts to that, absolutely. So when you register on our website, you're automatically generated a fundraising page. Now
Okay.
you can, do whatever. You put your name on it. You can put it, I'm fighting for this person. This is my goal. People can write down, their comments with their donations and how much they donated. Everybody can see that. You provided a link you can use on your social media. That's one way. Now, the second way is what we call grapplethons, which
Okay.
is like a seminar, only you're opening up your academy for a few hours and, raising donations at the door. Like if you want to roll for 4 hours, it's a certain amount. And then that money is sent to us and then sent to our beneficiary. And what we do with people who raise a certain amount for the grapplethons is the same thing we do for our fundraisers. We send them merchandise and perks and, here, this is everything you need to know in our TCO package for your grapplethon.
Mhm.
So we've had them. I think there was one up in Alaska, I think. And I know there's a guy, there's a gentleman in Euro-Asia somewhere who's trying to start a grapplethon. And, I've gotten back with him, but I haven't heard a response back. So
Wow.
we are definitely global as far as who and how we reach people.
Wow. And I got to give you credit because you're doing all this traveling. Now, and I'm assuming you work too, right? So it's, I mean, I guess it's somewhat easier because it's on the weekend. Like your Friday, what do you leave, like on a Thursday or Friday, or?
The last I saw New Hampshire was September 18th. I won't see New Hampshire again until November 10th, and that's the day after Philly. So
Wow.
you also have to take into consideration that I'm retired military. So I have the leniency to be gone on the road for a certain amount of time and not have the commitment of a 9 to 5 job, which, by the way, John quit his job last year to start this tour. That's how
Oh
much it
wow.
meant to him. He's like, you know what? He got tired of getting up and being like, man, I don't want to go to work. And now he's like amped. Every time he gets up, I'll get a text or a call, or I'll see him online. He's on social media, just pumped, just ready to come to the next city. Me, I get in that truck with a trailer. We call it Black Betty. It's the Tap Cancer Out trailer. And I drive from location to location. I try to train with as many places I can, body permitting. Um, so far, I just hit 5,000 miles, and we still got from here to Nashville, Nashville to Philly, and then Philly back to the HQ in Connecticut. So I'll clear close to 6,000 miles in the 8 weeks.
Wow. Now, if a person, I'm assuming you're also selling merchandise on your website too, right?
Yes.
Like if someone that can't make an event, or for whatever reason, and they still want to help out, what else can they do? They buy merchandise? Like how else would it be able to support your cause?
On tapcancerout.org, obviously with the triple W in front of it. Yes, merchandise, the general donations. There's a lot of people who work for corporations who match donate. So if they put in $500 collectively, their company will match the donations. That's another way. Anything and everything. I mean, I've seen people literally. We have this one boy. I won't mention his name right at this moment, but he's in Massachusetts, and his name is Cody Alisi, and he was last year's top fundraiser. He's no higher than my waist, and he's an Adonis when it comes to fundraising. I think he's already up to like $14,000 raised this year.
Oh wow.
And he's just on another level with the people he knows and the ideas that he creates to fundraise for his page. So, well, I guess not between you and I and everybody else, where the sub only showcase that we're having in Massachusetts, we were definitely hoping to invite him as a guest, sub competitor with another boy his age, to promote exactly just how much effort that young man puts into fundraising for this cause.
Now, for that sub-only event, are you having like a particular competitor come, like as a super fight, or is it anybody who shows up at the door?
We ask for applications that are on our site. Right when you click on tco.org, it's right on there. Interested in the sub-only showcase. We just finished our Chicago one. Philly will be next. Mass will be last. We do it just like any other super fight, organization would do it. We set everything up exactly the same with the lights and the music and, the 24 by 24 mat for them to do their thing. And we have Dave Bannon and John both at the headquarters. They will put two people together who they feel is the best match, from black belts to blue belts. And I missed the showcase in Chicago because I was tearing down the tournament while the showcase was going on, but everybody else had moved over to the other side of the pavilion. And but I heard, I was hearing people cheering, and I was like, oh man. And then some people were coming back over to the tournament side telling me what was going on, and I was like, oh, I'm missing it. So yeah, it's by application only, sub only showcase on the TCO website. It's also on Facebook and Instagram. Like I said, if somebody's interested, they can just fill out an application. It's super brief, super easy. Who are you? What's your belt? What school are you from? How much do you weigh?
Now, is that gi or no gi?
Both.
Oh, okay.
Both.
Okay.
Yeah, completely the preference of the fighter and what they choose or what they feel they're better at.
Okay. Now, do you follow the IBJJF rules for the no-gi, or do you allow heel hooks?
It's I missed this part of the showcase because, like I said, I wasn't there. Yes, heel hooks, absolutely. No gi. Okay. No gi, I would say, and I missed Sergio's meeting on it, but I'm pretty sure it's like ADCC rules.
Okay.
And if I might get a message in like 2 minutes from John's like, oh, that's wrong. But yes, I mean, if you think of any type of no-gi type of competition, those are the rules we adhere to.
Okay.
IBJJF rules for gi, of course.
Okay.
Um, no points, no positional points, no advantages. It's sub only or ref's decision after the time. That's it.
Now, what's the time limit for the gi? Is it 10 minutes or?
5, 6, 7, or 8 minutes, depending on the actual belt level, blue, purple, brown, and black. Like, don't quote me. I'm almost
Okay.
positive, but like I said, the showcase is not part of what I do as a whole.
Okay.
So if I miss the finite details, we'll correct them later. But I'm pretty sure I'm 99% correct on
Oh, that's good. That's good. I gotta get that information, pass it on to where I train. So we got a couple of the young guys that actually can
that. Yeah.
compete. My days are pretty much done, dude.
When I hit black in February, this past February, after literally, I started in 1997, back when the half guard hadn't even been heard of. You
Yeah,
know, not to mention anything else. And I see what some of these men do now, women too, and the kids just.
yeah. Now kids got no fear. They have no fear. That's why it's so great to train at that age. You know.
And their development in the skill is just, I wish we had what they had 20, 25 years ago.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. And, it's great to see the future champions, especially when I'm out on the road. I always get a chance to train with the kids and some of the instructors. Like I was just recently at Soul Fighters down in Austin.
Okay.
Professor Bruno's like, come help me teach the kids. And seeing some of the kids, just the mastery levels at such a young age. And then they go and compete, and I'm like, I know what's going to happen. And I'm just sitting back behind the table watching and just see them take off. It's incredible to see.
Yeah, yeah. But that is such a great thing that your organization does. Now, how do you guys promote your events? Is it just social media, or do you send mass mailings to jiu-jitsu schools?
Logistically, it's mailings. We
Okay.
have flyers and mailers that we usually send out, I want to say 4 or 5 months ahead of time, but I'm pretty sure that time frame is a little closer to the actual times, maybe 2 or 3 months out.
Okay.
We opened up the tour, this year's tour. We opened up this year's tour on July 1st. So we opened up all registration July 1st. So if somebody comes in and says, "Oh, I just noticed this tournament. I didn't hear about it until today, and registration is closed," we take it on a case by case basis, because we want people to be able to fight for the reason, fight for the cause. And, we're able to sometimes squeeze some people in. So it's not like, oh, you didn't make it, too bad, see you next year. Not at all. And that's part of John's philosophy, that he wants everybody to have that chance to fight for those fighting for their lives. I see his emails come through, and I'm like, oh, late registrant, here comes John. And I'll look down at my phone, and sure enough, is exactly what comes through. So very diplomatic, not I'm missing the word. There's very little that we do that is Donald Trump political. There's like very little political BS that we go through at any given time, which is an amazing thing. Nobody's treated any different, any worse. We take everybody into consideration. We had a gentleman with cerebral palsy. He needed matches, and he took gold medal. Everybody took just thought for certain that they were going to smoke him. And I trained with him, and it was like rolling against a gorilla. It blew my mind. And the smile on his face, literally, that made the 2 months on the road worth every second.
Yeah. It's amazing. Like some people, right? Like you see that they don't have any like legs, like in the tournaments, and it's just amazing.
Adaptation is the key to our sport now. And there's really no other choice, especially if you miss a limb or you're missing a hand or an arm. You can still do amazing things, but you also have an advantage. Nobody can armbar you on that side. Like, okay, man, I got to go to the other side, and you're tucking that in. I'm in a world of hurt. So yeah. Jiu-jitsu is a great sport that way.
Yeah. Now, if people wanted to get in touch to find out more, the website is www.tapout.org, right? Or tap out cancer, right? What's the website again?
Let's revert that. Pretty close, no problem. www.tapcancerout.org.
Okay.
All the information is on there. You've got all of the hyperlinks on the top. How to get involved if you want to volunteer, if you want to be, if you want to register, if you just want to donate, if you want to donate your time or any aspect, it's all up there.
Okay.
Our FAQ is up there. There's literally pages and pages of questions that we answer that we have on board on site, and there really isn't. I don't think. Well, that's a fib. We always come up with a couple of questions that come up that we're like, wow, we haven't come up with. We don't have an answer for this yet. So we try to be as on point as we can. So there's nothing we cannot conquer when we're out here on the road.
Okay. And you guys are also on Facebook?
Yes, Tap Cancer Out on Facebook.
I found you guys.
Sub Only Showcase is on Facebook as well.
Okay. Twitter, Instagram?
I don't know about Twitter. I've never tweeted myself, obviously. Instagram, yes, Tap Cancer Out also.
Okay.
All of the core members, myself, John, Dave, Becky, Robbie Ramasa, and everybody that's on the board of directors is all on social media, available for comment anytime with any amount of questions. People always ask about our funds. Where do the funds go to? Let's see your, what you're actually putting into play as far as monetary value into the beneficiaries. Last year, it was 88.13 cents of every dollar. And I think the next closest foundation was like 13 cents.
Wow.
So, yeah, we're doing it right. John is he's put the effort and the time in, as well as Becky, his wife. She's also on the board. And they're amazing to work with and to work for. And they're doing it right. They're doing it for the right reasons. So it's impressive to be on board here doing it with them.
All right. And just so everybody knows, there's only 2 more tournaments for the year, right? One's in Philly. We're in October now. What are the dates again?
We're in October. So Saturday is Cincinnati, which is
Saturday,
where
Cincinnati.
I'm currently at.
Okay.
Registration is done for that.
Okay.
People want to volunteer, jump on board. We'd love to have you. After Cincinnati, I head over to Nashville.
Okay.
They have until the 19th. Oh, see, here we go. Here we go with the old glasses again. I'm sorry, November 2nd. November 2nd for, they have until October 30th or 31st, I believe, to register for Nashville.
Okay.
Or they can use the volunteer competitor ticket if they want to volunteer for the day, receive free registration to be a volunteer and still compete. That option's available. And then November 9th is the end of the line, tour date number 8, and that's in Philly. And the town of brotherly love, let me tell you something, they come out in full force. So definitely we're almost over 475 competitors with 3 weeks to go. We'll definitely go well over 500 plus the showcase.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then when does this tournament circuit start up again for next year? April?
See, now you're asking some proprietary questions that I don't know if I can answer.
Okay, no worries.
So
I just want everybody to know who's watching this video. Get your butt on the mat, support the cause.
Okay, I will say this. We're expanding. And we are expanding a lot. I will give a number, but I won't tell you the name of the cities yet until they're officially announced. Right now, the only cities that have been announced is Phoenix, January 25th, San Diego, February 1st, and then we start again in May. 5 tournaments in May, 4 in June, 1, I believe, in the first week of July, or maybe that's just the 9, and then another 10 tournaments September, October, November. So now we're shooting for 22 tournaments in 2020.
That's great.
Be on the lookout for your city.
Hopefully you come to Jersey. Now, quick question for you. Do you guys video or stream the events and try to like I don't know, stream it and make money that way?
The showcases are streamed. How they're streamed or where they're streamed at this
Okay.
point, like I said, I do not know. But as
Okay.
far as streaming the events themselves, yeah, I mean, if Flow Grappling said to us, we'll throw you on at no cost, because we are a nonprofit organization,
Yeah.
I'd be
Yeah.
like, absolutely. But at this point in time, people just take their videos on their phones or their cameras and then just share it on their own
Well, maybe
websites.
some of the guys that run Flow Grappling will watch this video.
I'm
You
just
never
saying,
know.
guys, we're here.
This video is going viral. Once I get done, it's going to go viral.
I'm all about it. We do have videographers who do come in. We have a ton of photographers who love to volunteer their time and, promote their name brand. So of course we're like, absolutely, come on in. The more the merrier. We have no problems with that. So, and people can buy their photographs through their own websites, however they choose. Or if it's, videography, people just take short clips of people's matches and, throw them online and go from there. So
That's great. That's great. Well, Adam, it was a pleasure having you on the show.
Absolutely, man.
I love talking about jiu-jitsu, and I love seeing being used for a great cause. It was really great chatting with you, buddy.
Can't appreciate it enough, Mark. Appreciate it, my friend.
All right. All right, guys. We'll be back after this short break.